So we're here on my land, which I call Bear Island. When I bought this land 6 years ago, it had basically every problem that a forest could have. It had been high graded, which just meant that loggers cut basically all of the biggest, healthiest, most valuable trees, left all the least healthy trees behind. I remember thinking that there were basically no healthy trees left here. In this journey to protect forests, we end up using unusual tools. One of the tools I use a lot is a chainsaw. But another tool that I want to introduce to you today is Red. So Red is a 1981 Timberjack 230E cable skidder. A cable skidder essentially is like a big tractor, except that it's a purpose-built machine used for pulling trees out of the woods. So on one end we have this powerful winch. I can pull this cable out. I can hitch it using these choker chains that wrap around the logs, hitch it to these eyelets, and pull those logs to the machine, and then I drag them or skid them out of the woods. That's why it's called a skidder. It's got these giant tires with chains on them. It has a suspension that's meant to go over steep and uneven ground. It's got this blade, which is really just for piling up logs on the log landing. It's not something that you can really use like the bucket of a tractor. Skidder has a 353 Detroit engine. It's notoriously loud. Actually, some loggers won't even work with it because it's too loud. I have to wear a in-ear hearing protection and over-ear. When you put that throttle down, it's absolutely crazy. The reason why almost all the loggers that I work with an older cable machine like this is that this machine was made to run forever. Super easy to repair. A lot of the parts are over-the-counter parts that you can buy like at Napa. That 353 Detroit is the same engine that's in a lot of old machines like old ambulances and school buses. Engines on these things they just go to the junkyard, find an old one, maybe get it refurbished and put a new engine in. They basically never die. One thing that's unique about this machine, there's no steering wheel, so you actually steer with a lever. So the Timberjack has 3 levers. This lever here moves the blade up and down. This lever steers it. Down is right, up is left. And this activates the winch. I'm going to track you forward, backwards. This is the emergency brake here. On my feet I have the clutch, brake, and the throttle. To start it, you just push this in and then push button start. This is the shifter. Usually, most of the time, if we're pulling something really heavy or pulling uphill, have it in first gear. Most of the time it's in second gear. If you're going really fast on flat ground, put up in third. There is a fourth gear, but don't really use it much. I know that a skidder just like this was used by the loggers who high-graded this forest and created problems that I'm going to spend the rest of my life solving. And I know that used in a different way, this can also be a tool of healing. Basically what I do with Red is I go through this forest, I find every individual healthy tree and release it from competition. In areas where there are no healthy trees, I create pockets of regeneration. I sell mostly log length firewood, so that's just firewood in 16-foot, 18-foot, or 20-foot sections that gets sold to firewood processors or truckers. One thing that Red has really helped me with is to have a better understanding of how loggers operate in the woods. So as a forester, it's my job to mark trees to be cut, to supervise loggers, to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. But if I don't have a firm grasp of the operational realities of like how to cut a tree, how a machine gets to the tree, how it skids that tree out of the woods, then I'm not going to be able to do a very good job managing those loggers. By running one of these machines on my own land, I just feel like I have a much better understanding of how to use it in the best possible way, create the most positive impact that it possibly can and the least negative impact that it possibly can in the woods.